The night was thick with silence, except for the distant wailing of the wind through the trees. Adana knelt in the village square, her wrists bound with a red cloth. Before her stood the elders, their faces unreadable. The fire crackled beside the giant ancestral drum, its carvings glowing faintly in the moonlight. Ekene lay on the ground, his forehead pressed into the dust, his body trembling. "You have broken the sacred law," Chief Obina's voice boomed through the village. "The ancestors will decide your fate." A deep rumble filled the air. The ancestral drum, untouched by human hands, began to beat. Boom, boom, boom. The people gasped. The spirits had awakened. Adana and Eken's love is forbidden because of their different social ranks. When Obiora exposes their secret, Eken is sentenced to a trial by the spirits, and Adana is forced into an unwanted marriage. But on the night of the wedding, the ancestors make their judgment in a way no one expected. The night air was thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming flowers. The silver moon bathed the trees in a ghostly glow. Adana's heart pounded as she ran, her feet barely touching the ground. She found him waiting, Ekene, his hands resting on his beloved drum. His dark eyes softened as he saw her. "You should not be here," she whispered. Ekene smiled. "Neither should you." She touched his face. "They will never allow it. My father has already chosen Obiora for me." "Then let us leave this place," he pleaded. "We can build our own life away from their rules." But before she could answer, crack! A branch snapped. A shadow moved in the trees. They were being watched. The morning sun was red like an omen of blood. The village gathered in a tight circle, murmuring among themselves. At the center, Adana and Eken knelt before the elders. Chief Obina's face was like stone. Beside him stood Obiora, his lips curled in satisfaction. "You dare defy the ways of our ancestors," the chief thundered. "Our chief's daughter cannot marry a commoner." Adana raised her chin. "But father, love is also the will of the ancestors." The crowd gasped. The chief's eyes darkened. "Enough! You will marry Obiora at the next full moon." And Eken, he paused, letting the silence stretch. Ekene will face the judgment of the spirits. The air was thick with the scent of burning incense. Women sang, their voices rising and falling like waves. Adana stood at the center of the ceremonial hut, dressed in red and gold, heavy coral beads weighing down her neck. Her hands trembled, her heart ached. Obiora stood beside her, proud, smug. The drums began to play, the wedding dance, but something was wrong. A deep, powerful boom shook the ground. Then another and another. The great ancestral drum, untouched for generations, was beating on its own. The women screamed, the fire flickered wildly, casting monstrous shadows. The earth rumbled beneath them. Mama Nkem's voice cut through the chaos. "The spirits have awakened." The people turned to the chief. His face was pale, his lips moved, but no words came out. Then a voice, deep and ancient, echoed through the night. "You have angered us." The villagers fell to their knees. Adana reached for Eken. He was there, standing at the edge of the ceremony, his chains broken. The spirits had freed him. Obiora stumbled backward, his body trembling. The shadows seemed to stretch toward him, pulling him closer. He screamed, but no one moved to help. The drumbeat grew louder. The flames roared higher, and then silence. The sun rose over the village. The air was still heavy with what had happened. Chief Obina knelt before the sacred drum, his face buried in his hands. The spirits had spoken, and he could not defy them. Adana and Eken stood side by side. They had won against tradition, against betrayal, against fear. And as the morning breeze carried the last echoes of the ancestral drum, the village knew love was not just a feeling, it was destiny. For more interesting stories like this, please subscribe and turn on notification bell so not to miss out on any of our updates.